Good morning and welcome to Financial Friday, your end of week financial update from your credit union. Good morning. I am Crystal Parker, Financial Education and Community Outreach Ambassador. And this week we're talking about summer reading. Now, if you don't have kids, I still want you to stay tuned for this topic because you may have a child in your life that needs this information. If you are a longtime follower of the credit union, whether on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, you may have regularly seen our after-school snack time videos. We started doing reading time for young children, predominantly pre-K through elementary school, to encourage the importance of reading, but also adding some financial literacy in there. Reading is something very important to us here at Henrico Federal Credit Union. We have many readers on our staff, and we know the importance it makes in the education of young people. Reading is foundational to everything that we do when it comes to learning, and we want to encourage that. And here's how we're doing it for the children in our community this summer. Our outdoor reading guidebook. This is an opportunity for children to engage in some reading, perhaps in some fun locations, in a tent, in their own bedroom, on the playground, while camping, or somewhere out in nature. We also have a weekly story time starting on June 23rd, where students can join us for a fun time of reading and adventures with the Roo Crew. But we want to encourage kids this summer to read, and in all kinds of places. Do you need some ideas of books for them to read or have read to them? I have some suggestions. These are just a few of my favorite financial literacy books. I wouldn't be a financial educator if I didn't suggest some books about money. Pigs Will Be Pigs and Pigs Go to Market are some fun stories about some pigs trying to understand using their money and spending it wisely. The Penny Pot may be familiar if you have a student in your life that attends Henrico County Public Schools. We love providing financial education, and this is a favorite book for some of those lessons. The Berenstain Bears is a classic. Trouble with Money is another favorite and a great way to get kids thinking about money and being wise with it. Pennies for Piggy is written by a local author, a financial educator based here in Richmond, and has written a book that is near and dear to my heart and a great lesson for students. The Coin Counting Book sounds exactly like what it is. Alexander, Who Used to Be Rich Last Sunday, is another great one for getting students to think about sometimes the consequences of how we spend our money. And Lemonade for Sale is another fun one. And Those Shoes is a great lesson too. I don't want to give away these stories because you should definitely check them out, but I do have some more suggestions. There are oodles of books that talk about money, and there are some fun ones. You may have seen some of these stories on an after-school snack time, or you might see these books this summer, but these are some more great books to get young people talking about and learning more about money. And sometimes they don't quite realize they're talking and learning about money, but they are, and it's pretty great. Tia Isa Wants a Car is a great lesson. Dozens of Donuts is such a fun story. How the Moon Jar Was Made is another favorite because this gets students thinking about that core topic of save, share, and spend. And it's a great reminder even for us adults about how to manage our money, to save, to find charitable ways to share, or with others that we know and need, and of course, to then spend and spend wisely. There are so many fun books to read, and whether a student is reading a financial literacy book or just a different type of book that is fun, those all count for summer reading. And we hope you will encourage the children in your life, whether they are your own children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, neighbors, but encourage all of them to read. And if they participate in our summer reading program, All they have to do is take one of these sheets and fill it out every time they read. Put the title of the book, when they read it, how many pages did they read? Can they challenge themselves to read a certain number of pages throughout the summer? How were they feeling when they read that book? What was their favorite part of the story? What was the weather like? And get to know the story a little bit. Who are the characters? And the most important question for any book, would you read it again? And every time they read a book, they fill this out. And at the end of the summer, if they complete this in their entire guidebook and turn it in, they'll be entered in for a prize. And for each book they read is an additional entry for our grand prize for our summer reading prize pack. So I hope you will encourage the young people in your life to read this summer. And perhaps you as an adult can join the fun to encourage them along the way. I hope you enjoyed this week's Financial Friday, and we'll see you again next week.